The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. There are 5 characters appearing in today's lesson, only one of which is actually based on feng from lesson 122. The other 4 are often found in expressions containing it. As you can see from this first slide, our main character in the feng family is made up of feng on the right and that capital B-shaped radical fu, depicting steps on a hillside that we encountered in the characters in lesson 42 and xian in lesson 46. This new character is pronounced second tone, fang. An extended sense of those steps on a hillside is something tall or high, where those steps would be needed. So fang means a raised earthen barrier serving as a dam, levee, or embankment to keep high water out of nearby fields. The phonetic element feng was not chosen at random here, because you'll recall that feng itself also has the sense of nearby, as in fang guo, the meaning of side, as in 左方, 右方, 对方, and a particular place, as in 地方, all of which connotations easily fit into the meaning of a high place near the side of a river to keep water from flooding nearby land. Dams and embankments are meant to hold floodwaters back to prevent flooding, so the basic meaning of the verb fang is to take precautions, defend against, or prevent something from happening. 无论如何，我们最好还是防着他一点。Regardless, we'd be wise to keep an eye on him. Literally, we'd be wise to take precautions against him. 他没防到我会问这个，可是他很镇定地回答了。He hadn't anticipated my question, yet answered it with remarkable composure. Literally, he'd given no thought to preparing for such a question. 防避 combines the characters to express the preparation for and evasion of an eventuality. 当时，飞行员无法及时防避那架无人机。The pilot was unable to avoid the drone in time. By pairing fang with 止, Mandarin creates the expression 防止 for prevention. 对此，我想出了一种防止的方法。Therefore, I've come up with a way to prevent this. 瓜牛啃你的植物，你有什么方法去防止？ How do you prevent snails from eating your plants? Among the things that humans try to prevent are fires, rain, and water damage, and summer heat. 森林防火，人人有责。Forest fire prevention is everyone's responsibility. 卖家说，这件大衣能防雨。The seller says this coat is rainproof. 英国那些草制的屋顶能防暑吗？ Can those thatched roofs in Britain provide protection from the heat in summer? 这种手表是防水的，不怕弄湿。This watch won't be damaged by moisture as it's waterproof. 水泥的袋子不怕湿，都有防水层。Cement bags are moisture resistant with a waterproof lining. 动物园里的猫熊要吃什么才能防暑？ What do the pandas in the zoo eat to stay cool in this summer heat? To guard against or defend against something is the combination 防卫。你对他这种论点一点防卫能力也没有。You have no defense against her argument whatsoever. 人对持枪的歹徒没有徒手防卫的可能性。 it's impossible to defend against an armed assailant with your bare hands. 国防 is the correct term for national defense. 国家收入花在 AI 上的比在国防上的要多。The country spends more of its revenue on AI than on national defense. 国防开支是动不得的，那可是关天关地的事。Defense expenditures are non-negotiable. They concern matters of life and death. 动不得 means something cannot be touched or moved, while 关天关地 is not a standard idiom, but a combination of 关天, concerning fate or the heavens, and 关地, implying earthly matters, used to express something of utmost importance, especially in the context of a critical situation such as national defense. Before vigorous exercise, we're encouraged to warm up our muscles so they're ready for action. The opposite sense is found in the Chinese expression 冷不防, with 冷 indicating that something is totally unexpected or out of the blue. We're not warmed up for it, not ready for it. When paired with 不防, meaning unprepared, the idiom 冷不防 is a double dose of surprise. 他们冷不防向我问了一个私人的问题。Out of the blue, they asked me a very personal question. 他冷不防地想到，花园里的水龙头没有关。She suddenly remembered she left the garden hose running. 有机会，我就会给他们来一个冷不防，马上溜开。When the chance arises, I'll attack them by surprise and immediately slip away. Notice how adding 一个 makes 两不防 a noun phrase. 他认为这招会使对方冷不及防，弄不清怎么回事。He believed this tactic would catch the other side off guard, leaving them bewildered. The addition of 急 adds the idea of 来不及, meaning there's not enough time to respond. Before introducing today's second character, we should first review the two elements which will enter into its composition. The first review character is 予 from lesson 74, the pictograph of the shuttle of a loom with a thread attached, representing one hand passing the shuttle to the other, while maintaining tension on the threads during the weaving process. Next is the review character 耶 from lesson 40, meaning the human head, when integrated into other characters, but borrowed as a standalone character to mean a page in a book. Joined together, 予 and 耶 make up the fourth tone character 予, meaning to crane one's neck, stretching and extending the head forward to see what's ahead. This now means to prepare or make ready, do something in advance, making it very useful when paired with today's first character, 预防, meaning to prevent something from happening. 对此事，你们无法预防. You cannot prevent this. 会有这种作用是天气的因素，我们必须加以预防。Weather conditions cause such effects, and we must guard against them. 要能预防人生中的一切意外，头脑必须要特别精明。To forestall all unexpected events in life, one must be exceptionally clever. 预约 means to make an appointment or reservation. 我想为朋友预约一个房间。I'd like to reserve a room for a friend. 你们有没有预约明天的座位？ Have you reserved seats for tomorrow? 你下一个预约是什么时候？ When is your next appointment? 我想预约跟乡里有关于户头的事。I'd like to schedule an appointment with the assistant manager regarding my account. 若没有预约，屋主是不会见人的。Without an appointment, the owner won't see anyone. 我去不了，一会儿和房东有个预约。I can't make it. I have an appointment with the landlord shortly. 预定 means to schedule or set a time or date. 我们要在预定的时间和地点再见面。We will meet again at the appointed time and place. We learned the character 补 way back in lesson 15, those two simple strokes representing the cracks that appeared on the shoulder blade of an ox as the bone was being heated over a fire. The number and placement of the cracks would then be interpreted by a shaman or elder to make prophecies about future events. 补 then is a natural match for 预, which also looks to the future, giving us the phrase 预卜, meaning to predict or foretell. 命相家说，这种事情是无法预卜的。Fortune tellers say such matters cannot be foretold. 我们没有能力预卜 AI 会使多少人失业。We lack the ability to predict how many people will lose their jobs due to AI. 他们现在是天作之合，之后是无法预卜的。They're a perfect match now, but their future remains unpredictable. Notice the idiom 天作之合, meaning that a couple are a match made in heaven. 人什么时候去世是无法预卜的，最好不要去想它。The timing of one's death cannot be foreseen. It's best not to dwell on it. Here's another review slide before going on to the third character in today's lesson. It's the character 禽, showing a hand holding a net and attempting to catch a bird. To emphasize the meaning of a live capture, the handle at the bottom was later replaced with a thrashing snake held down on the ground with a forked stick. Today, however, we want to pay attention to that thrashing snake on the ground element at the bottom, pronounced second tone, 柔, because it appears in several other characters referring to wild animals, including the following one. Our next character, then, is the pictogram of a scorpion, with that thrashing snake component replacing its venomous tail. Some Chinese scribes also apparently confused the scorpion's pincers with the grass radical, resulting in the character as it appears today, pronounced fourth tone, 万. However, 万 is no longer used in the modern language to designate a scorpion. Instead, being one of the most venomous of all land animals, the scorpion's extreme toxicity was used metaphorically to signify the extreme of a number, which in ancient China was 10,000. 那本书卖了10000册。That book sold 10,000 copies. 光速约为1秒1公里。The speed of light is approximately 10,000 kilometers per second. 飞机飞行到20000英尺之高。The airplane flew to an altitude of 20,000 feet. 只要万金在手，你就可以去全世界玩。With unlimited funds, you can travel the world. 万金在手 is not a fixed idiom, but you can see how one can simply function as a huge number. The idiom for thousands upon thousands is 成千上万。世界上有成千上万种生物。There are thousands upon thousands of species of living creatures in this world. 今天有成千上万的人在街上看花车。Thousands of people are on the street watching the parade today. 在短短几年里，出现成千上万的新行业。In just a few short years, tens of thousands of new industries have emerged. 万物 refers to all things under the sun, or all God's creation. 活下去是万物的天性。Survival is the instinct of all living things. 在地球上的万物之中，人是最有破坏力的。Among all the creatures on earth, humans are the most destructive. To express the idea of all-powerful, the phrase to use is 万能。没有一种方法是万能的。No single method is universally effective. 歹徒不用破门而入，他使用万能钥匙开门的。The criminal didn't break in. He used a master key to open the door. Notice the idiom meaning to break into a house. 破门而入。很多人对行家很迷信，可是他们不见得万能哦。Many people have blind faith in experts, yet the experts are not necessarily infallible. An absolutely safe plan or measure is expressed in the idiom 万全之计。因为在意你们的性命，他才出此万全之计。He devised this meticulous plan because he cares about your lives. 我们想要顺利的办理，就必须想一个万全之计。We need to come up with a foolproof plan to handle this smoothly. Another way to say very or extremely is 万分。我向来讲话都万分慎重。I've always been extremely careful what I say. 他们明白这一回合得要万分认真的。They understood this round demanded they play in earnest. You'll recall from lesson 44 that 舍 represented a temporary dwelling that would soon be abandoned when no longer needed. By adding the hand radical, the verb 舍 was created, meaning to abandon, throw away, part with, or give something up. With that in mind, these next two examples contain the expression 万分不舍, meaning something is extremely difficult to part with. 我们万分不舍那个童年时光。We're very reluctant to let go of those childhood memories. 看着过去这些合照，我还是会万分不舍。Looking at these old group photos still brings on feelings of profound nostalgia. In Lesson 14, we learned the character E, depicting the final hours of a mother's pregnancy, with a fully developed baby inside her. This representation of the end of gestation gave rise to the various senses of stopping, ending, or the adverb already. By adding the negative 不得 to create 不得已, we have a phrase meaning cannot get something to stop, or the pressure won't let up, we have no other choice. Well, today we have an even stronger version in 万不得已. 不到万不得已，不要让步. Don't compromise unless absolutely necessary. 跟对方见面是万不得已的事. Meeting with the other side is only a last resort. 他夜间上班是出于万不得已. She only works nights when absolutely necessary. 只有在万不得已时，我才会求他. I'll only turn to him when there's no other option. 我爸爸不到万不得已不去看大夫. My father won't see a doctor unless it's absolutely necessary. 警方只有在万不得已时才可以使用手枪. Police may only use their firearms as a last resort. Now we come to the expression 万无一失, meaning literally 10,000 attempts without a single miss. In other words, a surefire plan or approach absolutely certain to succeed. 他们以为这样办万无一失了. They thought this approach would be foolproof. 找不到万无一失的方法，你只好认了. If you can't come up with a surefire strategy, you'll just have to accept the way things are. 方言那么多，只要你会讲国语，就万无一失了. There are so many dialects, but as long as you speak Mandarin, you'll be fine. As we've seen before, the way to express fractions in Chinese is to say x divided by y, as in 4分之一 for 1/4, 3分之二 for 2/3, etc. That means 10,000 divided by 1 would be 1分之一 to indicate a very tiny percentage. This can be further shortened to 万一, 10,000 to 1, as in our next idiom. 以防万一, meaning everything must be done to prevent that one error in 10,000 tries. In simpler English, we would say, just in case. 我留下那封信，以防万一. I'll keep that letter just in case. 我还是把电话给你，以防万一. I'll still give you the phone number just in case. 你还是拿着雨衣吧，以防万一下雨了. You should still take your raincoat in case it rains. 以防万一，我们就留10个人的位置吧. To be on the safe side, let's reserve seats for 10 people. 我可能赶不回来，给你钥匙，以防万一. I might not be able to make it back, so I'm giving you the key as a precaution. Now that we understand 万一 means a very tiny percentage, we can learn to use its logical extension to mean if, supposing, or what happens if. 万一这流言真有其事呢? What if this rumor is actually true? 万一下雨的话，野外活动怎么办? What if it rains? What about the outdoor activities? 万一他被开枪打死，这跟我不相干。If he should get shot, it'll have nothing to do with me. 万一他有个好歹，请立刻打电话给我。If anything happens to her, call me immediately. Remember that 好歹 here means an emergency or an accident. 对方万一不肯让步，有没有这种的可能性呢? What if the other party refuses to compromise? Is that a possibility? If 1 means 10,000, then multiples such as 100,000 must mean 1,000,000, 10,000,000, 10 million, and 1,000,000, 100 million. You should not be surprised then that both 10,000,000 and 1,000,000 can be paired with negative phrases for added emphasis. The English paraphrases may seem mild by comparison, but they are the official dictionary translations. 女儿嫁给他，那是万万不可能的。My daughter marrying him is absolutely out of the question. 不到万不得已的时候，千万不要开车。Never drive unless absolutely necessary. 万万没想到，事情会到今天这个地步。I never imagined it would come to this today. 你和父母说话时，千万不能跟他们顶嘴。When speaking with your parents, you must never talk back to them. 那只不过是他的话术，万万不可听信。That's just his sales pitch. Whatever you do, don't be taken in. 这件事情关系重大，你可千万不能意气用事。This is a matter of great importance. You must not allow yourself to be swayed by personal feelings. Notice the idiom 意气用事, meaning to act impulsively or be swayed by personal feelings. 我万万没想到我的亲哥哥会这样对待我。Never in a million years would I have thought my own brother would treat me this way. 这样的小事情万万不可大动干戈。Such a trivial matter should definitely not be blown out of proportion. We encountered those two ancient weapons of war, 干 and 戈 before, combined in the phrase 干戈, meaning warfare or armed conflict. In Lesson 27, we found the idiom 大动干戈, originally meaning to go to war, but now completely watered down to mean make a big fuss, go to a lot of trouble over something, or as in today's example, blow something way out of proportion. Today's final character is often found with this emphatic 1, so I'm introducing it here. It's a combination containing 不, so let's review 不 from Lesson 118. As you can see, this new character contains 不 plus the battle axe or halberd, pronounced 须, that we encountered way back in lesson 22 as part of the character 成. It happens to be the phonetic component in our new character, fourth tone 岁. 岁 originally referred to ancient farmers taking up their sickles and axes and marching forward to protect their newly harvested crops from marauders. This eventually turned into a sort of year-end religious ritual to thank the gods for a plentiful harvest during the Shang dynasty over 3,000 years ago. And since both the harvest and the religious ritual took place every year, 岁 eventually came to mean a year, and especially years of age. The phrase 万岁 is used in Chinese either to wish the ruler and the country a long life, or humorously to mean yippee or hooray. By the way, it's also the same phrase in Japanese, pronounced banzai, and very commonly used in Japanese as a cheer for celebration, good fortune, or to wish a long life, often shouted 3 times with arms raised, like a toast or round of applause. While infamous as a World War II battle cry for "Long live the Emperor" during suicidal charges, its modern use is positive, appearing at Japanese weddings, festivals, sports events, or to express overwhelming joy or strong enthusiasm. In Chinese, the use of 万岁 is much more limited. 国王万岁, 万岁, 万万岁. Long live the king. Literally, may the king live 10,000 years, even a million years. 我们回家了，万岁，回家了. Hooray, we made it, we're finally home. In everyday speech, 岁 is the way to express years of age, unlike 年, which is never used to talk about how old a person is. As in English, unless among good friends, it's not considered polite to ask adults their age. However, also, as in English, talking about the age of someone out of earshot is no problem. 我哥哥比我大2岁. My brother is 2 years older than me. 我想她还不到30岁. I don't think she's even 30 yet. 她才5岁, 还不会看表. She's only 5 and can't tell time yet. 她的年龄跟你相差7岁. There's a 7-year difference in your ages. 看门人是个40岁的胖子. The doorman is a fat man in his 40s. 我妈10几岁的时候就嫁给我爸爸了. My mother married my father when she was just a teenager. 不好意思，你介意我问你几岁了吗? Excuse me, do you mind if I ask how old you are? 岁月 is another expression for times and seasons, or simply past time in general. 过去的岁月从她的脑子里闪过. The past years flashed through her mind. 人们常说，时光如流水，岁月不待人. People often say, time slips away like water and waits for no one. Now, you might be asking, what's the distinction among 时间, 时光, and 岁月? Here's an overview. 时间 generally refers to actual length of time. 时光 and 岁月 tend to be more poetical and emotional. 时光 stresses a specific period of time, how we should not waste it, and happy memories associated with it. 岁月 usually describes the past, one's life experience, how fleeting time is, how it ages us or makes us feel. Here is our color chart with today's 5 characters. 防御万虚岁 Here's a recap of today's lesson. 1. This lesson introduces 5 characters, only one of which is directly related to 防, which is second tone 防, representing a dam, embankment, or levee. 2 of them, 御 and 万, are often found in phrases with 防, while 岁 is often paired with 万, and 虚 is basically just a phonetic found in 岁. 2. Since an actual dam or embankment is meant to prevent flooding, the verbal sense of 防 is to take precautions, defend against, or prevent something happening. Examples included in the lesson were 防盗、防避、防止、防火、防雨、防水、防暑、防卫、国防, and 冷不防. 3. The second character that often appears with 防 is fourth tone 御, meaning beforehand or in advance, which naturally includes the connotations of preparation or making ready. Phrases introduced include 预防、预约、预定, and 预卜. 4. Our third character was the scorpion 万, which was quickly borrowed to represent the number 10,000 from the idea that a scorpion's venom was extremely toxic, just as 10,000 was an extremely high number in ancient times. Phrases with 万 included 万物、万能、万分、万一、万全之计、成千上万、万不得已、万无一失、以防万一、千万不要, and 万万不可. Notice the order when counting in Chinese. 10, 十, 100, 百, 1,000, 千, 10,000, 万. And then it repeats. 十万, 100,000, 百万, a million, 千万, 10 million, and then 亿, 100 million, a new fourth tone character. As you will notice, 万 is not used in everyday counting, only for emphasis. In some places, once under the influence of the British, such as Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, the Chinese community there will often drop 1 and revert to the international Arabic system and say 十千, 百千, especially when discussing the price of land and houses. 5. The character 岁, along with its phonetic element 虚, were added because 岁 is found in the expression 万岁 in Chinese and banzai in Japanese. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.